can't believe someone would egg Olympus, Sarah huffs. I suspect that girl, you know, Alex's girlfriend. She stopped by that day to, I don't know, threaten me. Sarah looks deep in thought. I know the kind. Those women can get super jealous, fueled by their own insecurity. This is a mess. I sip my cup of coffee in silence. Has Alex contacted you again? Not since that day you tackled him, no. Huh, and I'd do it again. Sarah flashes me a grin. I don't doubt it. I reply with a smile, but try not to, okay? It's still super fishy though. Did you get the security camera? I did. Dimitri installed it yesterday. I conveniently leave out the fact that we kissed right afterwards. Sarah looks a little conflicted. Say, Valkii. What? About Catboy. Well, here comes the lecture I was hoping to avoid. Is it really wise to do what you're doing? You not only live with the guy, but he's Alex's brother. Are you even sure he's on your side? Spare me the lecture, I say with a sigh. If Dimitri was some kind of spy for his brother, he'd have let Alex know that he lived with me a long time ago, but he didn't. Those two have a strained relationship, it seems, anyway. I'm just putting it out there. Say Alex find out the shitstorm it would cause. I snort out loud. You're implying it isn't already. Good point, Sarah admits. You still live with him though, she points out. What if it doesn't work out? I bite my lip. Sarah does bring up something I haven't really thought of. This thing with Dimitri, what if it ends badly? I'd have to still see him around the house, so it's not like I can kick him out or anything. It's not like we've even talked about it or anything. Look, I know you're not really fond of Dimitri, but you shouldn't worry about him, it's fine. Sarah puts her hands up. Alright, just don't come crying to me when something bad happens. I smile at her. I know I can always come to you if there's ever a problem. Damn straight, she answers with a grin. Eventually, we finish our coffee and I head home. When I'm home, I receive a text from Dimitri. Sorry, I won't be able to make dinner today. I really need to study for my exams. That's okay, I'll make something for myself. You focus on your studies. Why don't you make something for him as well, though? To be honest, I'm a little bummed that Dimitri is busy. I kind of wanted to talk to him. Sarah did raise a good point after all. What's going on between us now? These feelings, these kisses that take my breath away. We can't pretend it didn't happen. Someone has to say something. All I want is some clarity on this situation. I know for sure that I like him and I'm attracted to him. I deduce that Dimitri has similar feelings for me. So what next? For example, do I want to date Dimitri? He is Alex's younger brother and my roommate. Two things that complicate matters a little. And now that Alex is back in the picture with an annoying girlfriend, it's not looking too good. I decide to text Dimitri once more. When's your exam? It's on the 28th and 29th, so I'll be free after my birthday. Taking a deep breath. Alright, I shouldn't disturb Dimitri and bother him with this until he's at least finished with his exams. I'd feel awful if I made him fail by bringing up our situation. He doesn't need to worry about that, not when he's still in college. Dimitri seems to take his studying very seriously. I haven't really seen him for the past 2 days. It's quiet around the house, except for Pixie running around. Hello, ma'am. Got a special delivery for you, he says as he brandishes a tall box before me. I wasn't expecting anything, I say, racking my brain about any orders I may have made. Well, it seems someone wants to surprise you. He then winks at me and leaves the box near the counter before leaving. I look down at the box and start to open it. Inside is a bouquet of red roses. My heart leaps at the thought of receiving roses from Dimitri. It's not from Dimitri, bro. It's not from Dimitri. Kiddily, I look at the card that's hidden in between the roses. For my beautiful Valkii. Let's eat lunch together sometime, Alex. I sigh deeply, my heart calming down and sinking towards my stomach instead. So much for being surprised with flowers when they turn out to be from your ex-boyfriend. I throw the roses and card away. I'm not interested. A couple of days later, as I'm about to open up Olympus for business, I notice a small brown package at my doorstep. Curious. Ugh. I look inside. I immediately pull myself away from the whiff of stench entering my nostrils and squeeze the bridge of my nose. That's dog poop. Ew, nasty. I pick up the little bag and throw it out with the garbage. Damn it, someone left it here on purpose. The same person who threw that egg at my window as well. It's got to be Alex's girlfriend. This is so annoying. Maybe I should get a security camera for outside as well so I can catch her in the act. I take out my phone, quickly letting Dimitri know what happened. He doesn't respond though, probably busy at college. Frustrated that my morning had to start this way, I finally open up Olympus. When I'm finally done with work, Dimitri is home as well. So, what happened? He asks me as soon as he enters the living room. Someone left a brown bag of poo at my doorstep, I say, crossing my arms. So disgusting. Dimitri sits down next to me on the couch with a worried expression on his face. First the egg, now this. So it's like you got a person with a grudge stalking you. I shudder. Is that what this is? Stalking. Maybe you should consider filing that police report after all, Dimitri suggests. Yeah, maybe, but would they even take it seriously? Dimitri shrugs. Probably not, but it's worth trying anyway. He then suddenly remembers something. Ah, what about the camera? Did it pick anything up at all? I shake my head. No, I already checked. The camera's for inside, so you can only barely see what's going on outside. Dimitri closes his eyes. Maybe you need a second camera for outside? I was thinking that. Maybe. I don't know. It's starting to feel weird. I'm pretty sure it's Alex's girlfriend doing all of these things. Feels a little ridiculous I have to deal with this. I want nothing to do with Alex, yet I'm getting harassed by his girlfriend. Oh, he sent me flowers too, I mentioned, remembering the delivery of roses. Alexander? Asks Dimitri. I nod at him. I threw them away, of course. Dimitri runs his hand through his brown hair. This is such a mess. Tell me about it, I say with a sigh. I like this piece of music. I like violins in general, so this is nice. Is it violin or is it cello? I can never tell. I lean back into the couch, staring at the ceiling. Dimitri shouldn't be dealing with this, not with his exams coming up. Suddenly, I feel a hand on the top of my head. I look to my side and see Dimitri smiling at me. Don't worry, we can go file that police report together tomorrow. I don't want you to not feel safe in your own boutique, and if Alexander shows up again, I'll handle it. His hand feels nice and warm on my head. It's very comforting. I lean against Dimitri's side, putting my head against his shoulder. Dimitri simply keeps a smile on his face and grazes his fingers across my scalp, massaging me. It feels good, like I'm safe with Dimitri here. I really do like having him around. Then Dimitri pulls away. I'm sorry, I forgot I need to study still. I sit up straight and bashfully smile at him. It felt nice being touched like that. I didn't really want him to stop. Right, please take care of your studies. Don't worry about dinner, okay? Alright, tomorrow I can get home early and we can go to the police department. Is that okay with you? Sure, we can. Dimitri shoots me a grin before getting up and disappearing from the living room. The next day we file the police report together. As expected, they didn't really take me seriously. That's so frustrating, I complain on our way back home. Dimitri gives me an apologetic smile. At least they noted it down so that in the future when something else happens, they'll take it more seriously. That's stupid, like something bad has to happen to me again for them to take me seriously. Just let me know if anything happens. I'll be there as soon as I can, Dimitri offers with a serious look. I give him an exhausted smile. Thanks, that's sweet of you. We continue to walk next to each other in silence. It's starting to dawn on me that we're both alone like this on a hot summer day. We haven't really done anything ever since that day in the boutique. A part of me is hoping that it will happen again, and another part of me is still a little confused on what's going on with me and Dimitri. Dimitri's hand suddenly bumps into mine on accident. I feel myself glowing at the unexpected contact. Sorry, Dimitri apologizes for bumping into me. I feel a little peeved. What's there to be sorry about? Doesn't he want to touch me too? Well, I definitely do. I gather my courage and my fingers reach out for his. I look to the side and hook my index finger around Dimitri so that we're linked together. Dimitri shyly looks away as well, but he doesn't pull his hand back this time. I can tell he's blushing. It's adorable. Slowly but surely, like he's waiting to see my reaction, Dimitri takes my hand into his own. Dimitri shyly tilts his head to shoot me this bashful smile as he squeezes my hand. Seeing that adorable dimple of his makes me melt into a puddle. I can't take it. It's making my heart race. We're holding hands out on the street. Why does this feel scarier than a kiss? Maybe because I can argue that the kiss happened because the mood was right, but you actively choose to hold someone's hand. It's nice, though, to have Dimitri here next to me, accompanying me to the police department. While the results were lackluster, I'm happy he's supporting me. The sun has started to set when we arrive at my boutique. We've silently held hands the entire way. However, without warning, Dimitri drops my hand like a hot potato. Confused, I tilt my head to look at him. Dimitri's eyes are wide and I follow his gaze. I take in a sharp breath when I see a figure waiting near my boutique's doorstep. Dimitri? It's Alex, who looks just as confused as us. Alex, what are you doing here? I ask straight away. My stomach starts turning into a big mess of knots. He gestures with his hands. I was waiting for you. I never got a reply on that lunch date. Silence is an answer, I say. Alex walks up to us, ignoring me, and goes straight for Dimitri. Why are you here? How come you two are together? Dimitri is too stunned to say anything on the spot. Valkii, why are you hanging out with my little brother? Alex asks in this accusing tone. He glares at Dimitri. Have you two been seeing each other behind my back? No! I yell out. Stop it, Alex. He points a shaky finger at me, clearly getting more and more annoyed. Then tell me what the hell is going on between the two of you. I live here, Dimitri says as he stands in front of me, shielding me from Alex. I stare at Dimitri's tall back, wondering if it's alright for him to tell Alex he's living with me. What the fuck do you mean you live here? Alex demands in anger. Oh no, it feels like Alex is going to explode. I live here, Dimitri repeats, enunciating each word. I heard you the first time, Alex snaps at him. His blue eyes then look at mine. He looks so angry and confused. Why is Dimitri living here? This is where you live, isn't it? How long has this been going on? Can anyone explain to me why the fuck my little brother is shacking up with my ex? It's none of your business, I tell him. Why don't you leave and go home, Alex, and tell your girlfriend to stay away as well? How is this none of my business? It's entirely my business. Alex pushes the palms of his hands against Dimitri's chest and shoves him backwards. Dimitri staggers back, but remains upright. Dimitri doesn't retaliate, opting to remain silent. I appear from behind Dimitri, my anger flaring up. Don't touch him, I yell at Alex. Leave him alone. Just go away already. You're trespassing. Alex takes a step back and growls at us, frustrated beyond relief. Oh. I see how it is, he says, snorting loudly. My brother and my ex conspiring against me. It's not like that, I argue. You heard her. Leave now, Alexander, says Dimitri in a calm voice. Alex has got this deadly look in his eyes, but he finally clamps his mouth shut. He huffs loudly as he pushes past Dimitri, bumping into his shoulder on purpose. Traitor, he mutters as he walks past Dimitri. Both of us watch as Alex makes his getaway until he's out of sight. I feel like all the strength in my body has left me. That was such a tense situation. I feel like Alex could have snapped at any moment and started attacking Dimitri. A pair of strong arms engulf my body, and I find myself being pressed up against Dimitri's chest. I blink up at him, surprised at the sudden hug. He buries his face into the nook of my neck, breathing out deeply. My body is glowing with this sense of security and a warmth that makes my temperature rise. I won't let him get to you, he whispers in my ear. I lean my face into his chest, closing my eyes as I enjoy the feeling of being wrapped in Dimitri's arms. These arms that are so strong and manly, like nothing can hurt me. I'll make sure he won't bother you. I'll be here, he murmurs softly. I wrap my own arms around his back. I feel like he's my lifeline. Thanks, I whisper back. Wow. I don't remember how this ends, I have to admit. A couple of days later, I go to water my flowers in front of the store, but then I notice that the flowers have been cut. Nothing but their pedicels remain. I bend down to inspect them. They've definitely been tampered with. Cutting my beautiful flowers, how rude. It's not only the flowers that have been cut, but another day, the mail I received has been torn into little pieces. Luckily, it's nothing important, just some dotted off flyers, but still, shredding my mail, that's really going too far. I'm pretty sure it's Alex's girlfriend, and it's annoying me to no end. It's such a headache to deal with someone so petty. If I try to go to the police this time, I'm sure they'll tell me I need more evidence once again. Fine, I'll get another camera for the front of my store. Soon enough, though, it's the 30th, Dimitri's birthday. He's been busy with his finals the entire time, but tonight he's finally free. It's a hot summer day, and despite my fan running, it's still unbelievably warm today. I promised Dimitri that I would bake a cake with him, however, that would have to wait. It is a Monday after all, and I'm at work. My second security camera has been delivered, and Dimitri is currently installing it outside. Alright, he says as he climbs down the ladder. That should do it. I think it automatically synced up with the other one already. I'm sorry for making you do this on your birthday. I apologize to him. He shouldn't be doing chores like this today. Nah, it's okay. I like helping around the house, he says and flashes me a friendly smile. Hopefully this means no one will be destroying your flowers anytime soon. He points at the security camera mounted on the wall. It's a little excessive, but I hope you're right. Have you heard anything from Alex lately? After Alex found out that Dimitri lives with me, he's been calling Dimitri a lot, probably demanding some kind of explanation. Dimitri shakes his head. After the first few days, he stopped calling me. I sigh in relief. That's good. You didn't need to deal with that while you were focused on studying. Dimitri sticks his hands into his pockets, acting a bit bashful all of a sudden. He's fidgeting in front of me like he wants to say something really bad. Well, my finals are over and today is my birthday, so... He starts slowly. Cake? I chuckle at him. Yeah, let's go upstairs and bake your cake. Dimitri is zooming around the kitchen, taking out all of the equipment and ingredients like he has some kind of superpower and can be at two places at once. He's so fast and eager. I stand there in the middle of my own kitchen, watching him speed about the place. Have you been looking forward to this? I ask him. Dimitri turns around, holding a pack of flour. Huh? It doesn't seem like he heard a word of what I said. He shakes his head. Sorry, I was too focused. What did you say? Relax, take a step back before you run out of steam. It's too hot to be working so hard indoors, I tell him. Dimitri gives me an apologetic look. I'll try, I'm just a little excited. place my hands down on the counter. So what kind of cake are we making? After placing everything on the counter, Dimitri grabs a recipe book from one of the cupboards. I didn't realize I even had one. It must be his. Dimitri opens it up to a page that he bookmarked and shows me the spread. It's some kind of chocolate velvet cake. The picture looks super good though, with a chocolate frosting covering the entire cake, decorated by splotches of creamy hazelnut. Sounds so good. Topped with some chocolate shavings. Hell yeah. Give me it. But wait, that looks really difficult. Are you sure you want to do that one? I don't want to ruin it, I say, unsure. I'm not very confident in my baking skills. Dimitri brushes the hair out of his face and chuckles at me. It's fine, just follow my instructions and I can turn you into a pro. Trust me, we'll make this together and it will be the best cake ever. I can't help but smile at his enthusiasm. Dimitri has been busy these past 2 weeks, studying for his finals, not to mention that whole thing with Alex and his girlfriend. It hasn't exactly been easy for him either, which is why I'm glad to see him returning to his usual self. Alright, Dimitri, take the lead. Eagerly, he nods his head and we begin. Dimitri does most of the work, measuring everything to its exact weight. I mostly just hand him the ingredients and tools when he needs them, like a nurse helping a doctor during surgery. Soon enough, we've got a batter that we can work with. As Dimitri pours the batter in the cake tin and places it in the oven, I'm left with the bowl, a delicious leftover batter-filled bowl. I quickly swipe some batter from the edge with my finger, then pop it into my mouth. So good. I do it again, my finger running along the inside of the metallic bowl until I've scooped up enough batter. I eagerly suck it from my finger. Is she going to be reminded of that day? Let's see. Also, metallic bowls are really good. That's when I noticed Dimitri's been staring at me. Embarrassed, I remove my finger from my mouth and push the bowl away from me, pretending I didn't touch it at all. Dimitri cocks an eyebrow at me, then grins as he grabs the bowl. You want to lick? Ooh. I wipe my mouth with the back of my hand and look away from his eyes. No. I lie. I sound so childish. Is that so? Well, I guess I'll have this all to myself. It is my birthday, after all. Dimitri hugs the bowl underneath his arm, then sticks his hand inside to scoop up any remaining batter. Ah, my sweet, delicious, and fattening slice of heaven. The cake batter is always better than the cake itself. Well, that's just not true. Why would you want to eat something with raw eggs in it? I don't get that. Unless it doesn't use eggs, but it probably fucking does. Dimitri brings his hand up to his face, his finger covered in the sticky mess. He flicks out his tongue, then laps up whatever is stuck to his thumb. He maintains eye contact with me. He's doing it on purpose to tease me. Why would you not choose these options? Well, two can play at that game. I'm not afraid to get what I want. Daringly, I take a step towards him, invading his personal space. Dimitri looks surprised when I grab his wrist, lowering his hand to my face till it hovers near my lips. Dimitri gulps as I wrap my lips around his index finger. My tongue swirls around his digit, licking up all of the batter from it. I suckle slightly before pulling back. I look up at him. His face has gone entirely red. He looks stumped. I groan loudly as I release his wrist. Delicious. Dimitri's mouth drops open with a raspy breath. But no, I'm not finished. I need to get all of the batter. I lean forwards once more. Dimitri stands perfectly still as I wipe off some batter from the corner of his mouth with my thumb. I grin at him. I pull back, licking the small bit of batter on my thumb. All mine, I say with a wink. Dimitri's face is the colour of red velvet. He can't stop blushing, nor does he seem capable of talking at all. Instead, he seems to resign himself to his destiny, hanging his head down low and offering me the bowl of batter. Here, it's yours, he mumbles. I happily take it off his hands. No one messes with my cake batter. As I happily devour the leftovers, I watch Dimitri squirm in front of me. He's still completely red. I wonder if I should offer him some as well. A devious smirk spreads across my lips as I scoop up some batter with my index finger. I step closer to Dimitri. You want some too, right? He looks up at me, startled I've gotten close to him again. He gives me a tiny nod. Alright, open your mouth, say ah. Dimitri first clamps his lips shut, looking conflicted and extremely embarrassed. I urge him on, my finger hovering near his lips. He then closes his eyes and slowly leans towards my finger. I watch as his lips wrap around my index finger, sucking off the stickiness. My heart pounds loudly at the sensation. I'm kind of enjoying having Dimitri under my thumb. He's staring at me as his tongue licks my skin. It feels way too sensual all of a sudden. Soon enough, he pulls back, his eyes half open and his cheeks still burning red. That's an incredibly sexy look for him. I'm tempted to kiss him right now. But it's Dimitri that turns away from me. The cake will be finished in 30 minutes. We can continue then, he says nervously. I nod at him. There's this feeling in the back of my mind that I can't shake off. Why did this feel like some kind of foreplay? I try to curb my own thoughts and head towards the living room to wait. Pixie is sunbathing on the floor, sitting in a patch of sunlight near the double doors, all curled up. It's really cute, so I take a quick picture. Pixie meows at me, noticing I'm hovering over her. She stretches out her paws and claws at the carpet, taking a big yawn. She's so adorable sometimes, I can't help but pet her. I end up lying down on my stomach next to her, sunbathing as well. It's so hot, but the fan is running in my living room makes it bearable. I hear Dimitri taking a deep breath behind me. Day of all days, it had to be smouldering hot outside. I turned my head a little to see him standing there, looking exhausted from the heat. This is not that bad, sunbathing like this with the fan hitting my face. Speak for yourself, I'm sweating buckets here. Dimitri starts lifting up the hem of his shirt. Do you mind? He asks, waiting for my permission to take off his shirt. I quickly look away and shake my head. Go ahead, it's your home too. I suddenly remember all the times I've seen Dimitri shirtless, and each moment has always been kind of embarrassing to the both of us. Well, it was mostly me making a fool out of myself. The rustling of cloth gets drowned out by the buzzing of the fan. My eyelids feel heavy, I can't look up at him. Within a couple of seconds, Dimitri walks onto the carpet and begins to sit down. He is deliberate in his movements and lethargic as he lies down next to me. Our shoulders bump into each other. My eyes finally dare to dart over to him. He's very close to me, leaning onto his side to face me. Now that he's shirtless, the sweat drops on his arms glisten in the sun. I feel mildly uncomfortable to be this close to his half-naked body. And what a body he has, he's got abs for days. I finally turn my eyes away from his torso, only to be greeted by Dimitri's own eyes piercing mine. I feel my breath getting stuck in my throat. We haven't kissed since that day Alex found out about Dimitri. We've been hanging in limbo all of this time, not knowing what this is between us. After all, I wanted Dimitri to focus on his studies. However, now that he's done, nothing is really stopping me. Nothing is stopping us. Bashfully, he averts his eyes and stares at the carpet. A shy smile appears on his face. My eyes are fixated on his cute dimple. I can feel my heart beat faster, so I look away. My gaze falls upon Pixie, who is snoozing in front of me. I reach out to touch her soft fur and smile to myself. I've gotten quite attached to her, just like Dimitri. Then, all of a sudden, I get an idea. Dimitri, what if I told you that baking a cake with you isn't the birthday present I wanted to give you? Dimitri locks his eyes with mine. What do you mean? I want to give you a present, I say while I keep petting Pixie. Oh? Dimitri can't help but sound excited at the prospect of receiving a present. Yeah, I trail Pixie's fur with my fingers. What do you think about formally adopting Pixie? The plan was to temporarily house Pixie until she was recovered and old enough to be transferred to a new family. She was never meant to stay, but ever since she's come into my home, I really don't see why she can't stay permanently. Huh? Dimitri looks astonished. I mean, she'd be yours, of course, but she can stay here for as long as you're staying here. I don't mind. A wide grin spreads across Dimitri's face until I can almost see the faint outline of a second dimple on the left side of his face. Dimitri's hand reaches out for Pixie as well, and he starts to pet her. Really? You mean that? He asks eagerly. I nod my head, unable to keep myself from smiling at his reaction. Dimitri laughs and plants a kiss on Pixie's head. Do you hear that? You get to stay. Pixie starts to purr in response to being touched. My very first cat. I'm so happy. He shoots me the most adorable smile. Thank you so much, Valkii. My skin prickles with a growing blush. So I turn my head away from Dimitri's smiling face. He's too precious. Dimitri lies his head down onto his arms, his eyes following my every movement. It makes me feel anxious. This is my best birthday by far, he murmurs softly. I get to keep Pixie, he says slowly, moving a little closer to me, and my eyes widen as Dimitri runs his hands through my hair, his fingertips softly grazing the area behind my ear. It's giving me goosebumps. His blue eyes are so clear, like the color of the ocean on a sunny day. I feel like I'm drowning in them as he keeps my gaze. And I get to spend it with you, he finishes. My heart starts beating like crazy. While my voice is caught in my throat, I'm frozen, staring at him. I can't tear myself away. Dimitri slowly bites down on his bottom lip as he removes his hand from my hair. His eyes are so intense, it's like he's holding himself back, but I don't want him to. My eyes trail down to his torso, awakening all these urges inside of me. I feel like I want to reach out and touch his skin. I want to feel it beneath my fingertips. I look down at his waist and see the faint line stretched across his skin right above his hip bone, the marks he received when Dimitri went through a growth spurt, when Dimitri stopped being a boy and started living like a man. And what a man he has become. Now that he's 20 years old, there's only a 3-year age gap between us, an age gap I barely notice, especially when we're close like this and he's showing off this wonderfully mature body. Valkii, Dimitri says, trailing off. He's looking at me like I'm the only thing that matters right now. His blue eyes never lingering on one spot for too long, his gaze stretching all over my body. I feel watched, but I like it. There's this deep-seated urge that's clawing its way up to the surface, compelling me to reach out for Dimitri and touch him. I want to touch him. Oh no, here we go again. That single thought pushes through my mind as it takes control of my body. I lift my hand to stroke the back of my fingers softly against his cheek. Dimitri flinches a bit at the contact, his eyes wide and conflicted, but never breaking my gaze. His skin is hot to the touch, but it's soft, so I continue to graze his cheek with my fingers. He's blushing madly, but he doesn't seem to mind, nor is he pulling away. I think this compliance is his silent permission to do this. It's not like we haven't done worse before. I've been dying to do this again, to touch him like this. Then, all of a sudden, Dimitri's hand has captured mine, his slender fingers wrapping around my own. He brings me closer to his mouth. He puckers out his lips and presses a kiss hard against... A kiss? Where's my mind going? Today I'm really tired, I'm sorry. He puckers out his lips and presses a kiss against the palm of my hand. The spot where he's kissed me feels hot, crawling with emotions. Dimitri, I whisper softly. This time, Dimitri's eyes flutter closed as he once more plants his lips against my palm. He lingers, his lips not leaving my skin. I grow even hotter. I don't try to break free from his grasp. I don't move away at all. All I can think of is, please do it again. I flex my fingers so that both my index and middle finger reach out to rest on Dimitri's bottom lip. I trail the grooves on his lips. It feels rough yet soft. They're slightly wet. This feels like a continuation from before when I was licking up the batter from the bowl. Dimitri's eyes open again, looking a little frazzled by my actions. He's gotten quite red in his face, though I'm sure I look similar. My pulse is behaving erratically. Dimitri gazes at me wantonly with these half-open eyes, unfocused. His hot breath touches my palm. The intensity of this sensual moment is making it very hard to think clearly. I want those lips of his. I blink slowly at him, my hand now cupping his cheek. I look him straight in the eye. Kiss me, I tell him in an unwavering voice. Dimitri's eyes widen slightly at the bold request, but it flashes with lust instead, a hunger that bubbles up from the surface. He leans closer to me, pressing his hand against my shoulder. I follow his lead and turn onto my side, but Dimitri doesn't stop pushing me, not until he's pinned me down against the carpet. His sweaty body looms over me, eyes glazed over and his mouth slightly parted. Dimitri lowers his face to finally capture my lips with his mouth. We connect, sending electrical charges through my body as I twitch at the sensation of his hot mouth on mine. My hands immediately press against his naked chest, as if I've been itching to touch him like this. The kiss is more intense than it ever was before. It's rough and unrefined. It's like this time he's not afraid to kiss me anymore. There's no hesitation behind his actions, so he presses harder against me, sucking all the blood towards my bottom lip. This is making me dizzy, but in a very good way. I push against him as well, partly opening my mouth to take in a deep breath. I cling onto his arms, which are shaking, or maybe I'm the one who's shaking. When he pulls back, my lips are throbbing. Dimitri bites down on his lips. He's trying really hard to control his ragged breathing. I leave his arms alone, my hands wandering back over to his chest. My fingers fan out and I gently press against it, feeling his heartbeat. Thump strongly against my palm, beating faster than I'd imagined. Mine's going just as fast. He's always been built lean, and I've had plenty of moments to catch him without his shirt on, but never had I imagined I could touch him like I am now. I want to explore more of Dimitri. I want to see what kind of reaction I can get out of him if I keep touching him, what kind of weird noises he might make, or the expression he'll have. Oh, wow. So that certainly is a CG. There's the cat right there. It's not awkward at all. I mean, the cat doesn't know, does it? Before I can get to have my fun, Dimitri has decided on some other plans. He grabs one of my wrists and tears it away from his chest, pinning it above my head onto the carpet as he climbs on top of me. Ah, my foot. He silences my surprised gulp with his mouth. His hot kisses are back. I feel like I've completely surrendered to him, the way he's got me pinned down like this. I'd have never imagined Dimitri would behave like this. He's almost too rough with me. Trying to get back some control, I bite down on his lip. Dimitri groans. He parts from me briefly, staring into my eyes with this lustful expression. The grip on my wrist loosened. Oh, I didn't realize he'd like this kind of thing. I just wanted him to slow down a little. I throw my arms around his neck now that I'm free, kissing him this time. I open my mouth and use my tongue to touch the spot I bit. Dimitri shivers in response, his breath all jittery. Somewhere in the background it starts to rain, but neither of us pay attention. Well, that's what I call the universe giving you an even more romantic moment. Rain always makes everything more romantic. My mind is filled with Dimitri, my lips occupied by his, kissing each other over and over until Dimitri's tongue connects with mine. Hot and wet, he swipes it against mine. There's desperation behind his movements, like he's unable to control himself anymore. I feel his entire body tremble against mine, and I'm loving every second of it. Dimitri's tongue exits my mouth and instead he licks my bottom lip tenderly, taking a moment to catch his breath. I use this opportunity to take in a big breath as well. I feel raw, but most importantly, I feel free to do whatever I want. Why was I ever concerned about surrendering myself to these feelings? If I knew it was going to be like this, I would have acted much earlier. Uh-oh, they got interrupted. You guys were never gonna get a sex scene. Not now. Or ever, unless you buy the plus content. Buy the plus content for Dimitri especially. I mean, I've never seen it before, but I'm just gonna assume. His cell phone starts to ring and it startles us both. Pixie finally wakes up from her slumber and sprints away, using Dimitri's back as a springboard. Whoops. Dimitri yelps in pain as he sits up straight and removes himself from me. I wipe my mouth with the back of my hand, my eyes travelling over towards the coffee table where my phone is. It's still ringing. The oven suddenly pings. The cake is ready as well. Damn, they were making out for 30 minutes. Like, probably like 20, right? Dimitri runs a hand through his mop of sweaty hair. I'll get the cake, he says. My mind is back in working order, the spell between us suddenly broken. It was such a heavy make-out session, I'm really disappointed to end it this early. As Dimitri disappears into the kitchen to deal with the cake, I quickly grab my cell phone from the coffee table. Hello? I ask as I pick up. Valkii, Sarah chirps. Oh, hey Sarah, what's up? Why couldn't she have called at a more convenient time? Why aren't you replying to my messages? She demands to know. Sorry, I haven't checked my phone in a while. It's Dimitri's birthday, so we were baking a cake together. His birthday? Whatever. Did you install that second camera? Is it working? I believe so. We installed it like an hour ago. I want to see it for myself. Can I come over? I don't believe that would be a good idea, not on Dimitri's birthday, but it's... Yeah, I'm coming over. See you in 20 minutes. Finally, Sarah hangs up the call. I stare at my phone. Why is my best friend such a pushy person? She just invited herself to Dimitri's birthday, and I'm pretty sure he won't like it. When I look out of the window, I notice it's raining. I hope Sarah will bring an umbrella, otherwise she'll be soaked. As I shuffle into the kitchen, I see Dimitri taking the cake from the tin, being careful not to ruin it. I think I remember a twist, maybe. I'm not gonna say it because I feel like even saying what I think the twist could be or like what it's pertaining to would make people's minds think and then they would probably guess it, so I'm not gonna do it. I say, trying to catch his attention. Dimitri looks up to see me standing in the doorway. He diverts his attention back to the cake again, blushing something fierce. I can't stop thinking about the kiss either. I've got something to say, I say as I walk closer to him. Wait, I'm not ready. Dimitri stops working, looking panicked all of a sudden. I look at him strangely. Sarah is coming over right now. Huh? He looks confused. I sigh. That was Sarah just now. She basically invited herself to come over and check out the new security camera. Dimitri's eyebrows lower and he huffs out loud. I thought it was just going to be the two of us. Why is she coming over? He asks, clearly not happy with this information. She won't stay long, probably, I say, hoping to cheer him up. Come on, let's clean up before she gets here. I walk up next to him and gently touch his hand with mine. Dimitri looks away from me, blushing once more. Alright. Together we finish cleaning up the kitchen before Sarah comes over. Okay. Isn't it... Yeah, we're on this one, two, so like 2 more episodes. And then the epilogue, which I guess you see a little bit of, but then I have to stop it before... something about weekend date, I don't know, I'll remember. See you in the next one.